rabbis of yesteryear. Now, today I want to speak about Rabbi Yitzhak Arguaiti, very, very famous rabbi of his time. In fact, I think the Hayami website would mark his Hilula here or this week on the date of the 25th of Ab. I'm not sure the specific room. I'm not sure if it's exactly crystal clear the date he passed away, but that's what is listed over there, maybe for a reason with regards to the printing of the books or haskama for a book. But he was born and came from great rabbinic auspices, I believe. I think his father was a great Chacham, Chacham Shmiraya, I believe. And he was born in Kushta in Turkey. Remember, that was a place with a bastion of Torah learning, a bastion of a center for Jewish life over there in its time period, the Constantinople over there in Turkey, who grew up in great amount of Torah and under auspices of some of the great sages of that specific vicinity, especially among the rabbis and the auspices he would learn under included Rabbi Yitzhak Arguaiti, another great rabbi. He himself was the author of the Divrei Emet book, and also Rabbi Chaim Pipani, another great rabbi of his time, rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before. I think we actually recorded a video on Rabbi Pipani at one stage in time also, so we have to point that out. And remember, at that point in time, Turkey was, let's just say, the main center in the world, let's just say, within regards to Torah study over there. He would live. It was tough also from a financial point of view and hardship point of view over there. But he'll toil in Torah all throughout. I think it was around the time period of 1764. Sadly, Rabbi Yitzhak Magriso passed away at that point in time. He's another rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before. He continued, I think he would go on then to continue the famous work of Rabbi Yaakov Kuli. Remember, Rabbi Yaakov Kuli was the author of the Torah great book called the Ma'am Lועז, different volumes in of itself. And I believe it's reported over he would go on to compose the volume of the book of Deuteronomy, the book of Dvarim, of Ma'am Lועז, respectively. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Rabbi Yaakov Kuli, the original author, wrote Bereshit and Shemot. I'm not sure if also Vayikra or not, but it was only a part of it. Now, in writing the commentary on the book of Dvarim, he drew on libraries of various famous rabbis who we've spoken about before. Rabbi Yitzhak Peretz, most notably, and the famous Rabbi Yisrael Yaakov Al-Gazi, who I believe he himself was the father of Rabbi Yom Tov Al-Gazi. Remember, we've spoken about, I think we actually dedicated a entire video on the rabbinic dynasty of the Al-Gazi family. Now, what's interesting about Rabbi Yisrael Yaakov Al-Gazi, he was a Rishon LeZion, who we've spoken about on various occasions before on this series. I think he was the 9th Rishon LeZion, where he would, before approximately a year, he would serve as a Rishon LeZion there. So he would, his teachings was very close to his heart, let's just say, to his heart on various different teachings. And Rabbi Yom Tov Al-Gazi, we also recorded about a video on, respectively, over there. Now, it's interesting. Rabbi Yisrael Yaakov Al-Gazi lived in Jerusalem, so seemingly Rabbi Yitzhak Arguaiti would have wrote his composition in Jerusalem, seemingly from this specific evidence. Now, come what year 1770, he completed the work of writing the first part of the book of Dvarim, and I think it was at Dvarim till Parshat Ekev, and I think eventually in 1773 he brought the book to print in Kushta. Now, this book is very much, I believe, available even nowadays, and there's various translations since then in various different languages, which we have to point out, which I recommend everyone to get the entire set of the great famous Ma'am Lועז book. Then come out the Hebrew year Tavkuf Lamed Zayin, that would have been 1777, I believe. He would begin printing the second part of the Ma'am Lועז on the book of Dvarim. But since I think at that point in time, because money-wise, it was a very tough situation, he had to try and cover the printing cost for it. So I think on his time period, this specific part was not printed, and this part, I think, unfortunately got lost over the years. Today, only the title page and the first few pages of copy of this specific book, I think, exists. Now, the second part of the Ma'am Lועז of the book of Dvarim that we have today, I think from Parshat Re'eh to Parshat V'zot HaBracha, was written by another famous rabbi we've spoken about before, Rabbi Shmuel Yerushalmi, who would translate the series of books, Ma'am Lועז, from Ladin into Hebrew. Now, Rabbi Shmuel Yerushalmi, I believe we spoke about inside the series. Hopefully, We will mention him again on various occasions before. He was a famous rabbi of his time, and I recommend us to look more into that. Okay, so let's progress. I think so. 1777, there will be that importances that will actually occur at that point in time, and I think the website, the Haimi website itself, which we do use as a point of source on many occasions before, they will list his Hilul on 25th of Av. Now, I'm not too sure the reason specifically for that. Maybe a Haskama for one of his books came on that date. Maybe the printing of the book was on that date. Or maybe his Hilul was on that date. But if anyone knows more information on that, I really appreciate it. Let's explore a few of the highlights of his book also, because it's a great book. I think from Ma'am Lועז, I think from Dvarim Bet. It's actually featured. If I'm not mistaken, it was reprinted in 1970 at some stage in time, or maybe that was first printing. I'm not too sure. The teaching says, "Melamed latet lo'ani et ze shu ochel mizeh shesh lo b'shulchano." That's one of the teachings. Another teaching is "Melamed ma'alat ha'melamed u'machzik yaldei ani shilamdu Torah." This is once again coming from Yakut Ma'am Lועז of Sefer Dvarim, respectively. Another nice teaching. "Melamed she'im olech b'derech tovim mechabed aviv v'imo b'zeh u'baba." This is another interesting teaching, I think, from the first chelek. "Midivrei harav ba'inyan ahavat Yisrael melamed." This is another one from the Ma'am Lועז. Another nice teaching. "Melamed shehadar be'eretz hu tzadik af im nir'eh she'enu adam kasher." And another teaching, last teaching we can see from the book itself. "Melamed latet li tzinok me'advash al gabei tablat otiyot ha'alef bet." This is for talking, I think, regarding to the famous Chalakah, which many of the great rabbis will advocate for children that are going to cut their hair for the first time at age of 3. It's also known as Halakha, or I believe also it's known as an upsherin, if I'm not mistaken, in many circles also. So he was a famous rabbi of his time. I recommend everyone to learn more within regards to him. Rabbi Yitzhak Arguaiti, one of the great rabbis from Turkey, a rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before, so I recommend everyone to look about it. We actually recorded a video about the history of the famous book, the Ma'am Lועז, also, which I recommend everyone to look into. It was just Rabbi Yaakov Kuli's Hilula quite recently, I believe, just in recent times. So that would I recommend everyone to look into, and that would be very much appreciated also, to expand the breadth and the knowledge of the great rabbis of yesteryear. Now, friends, we're a community here. We are learning about famous Oriental rabbis of yesteryear. If you descend from any of the great Chachamim we are speaking about here inside this series, don't hesitate. Please share. Please let me know. Send me a comment. I would appreciate it. If you feel anyone is interested in watching any of these shirim, please share these videos also to other people and help the channel grow. We're nearing a staggering 7,000 subscribers at the moment. It's not just we record videos on famous rabbis of yesteryear. We also have a great, interesting Jewish personality every single day contributing to the series and giving over some amazing wisdom, rabbinic personality also. We do tours all over Israel, which we have to point out, and we record videos on Parshat Shavua, daily Talmud tidbit we will also have on a specific regular basis. Also, with the Parshat Shavua, current events also is another thing that is very, very dear to my heart, and many, many other great Torah important videos in of itself. So please subscribe to the channel, friends, and wishing you well. Recording this from the city of Bet Shemesh in Israel. Please, if any of you are visiting this city, send me an email. I would love to be in touch with you, and appreciate any great advice that anyone can give us. So wishing you all well. Thanks and appreciate it.